Hey guys, welcome back to Numerology and Tarot. Today we are jumping into a 6 energy day. So 6 is usually known in the tarot, it is the card of the lovers. And it is usually known as being this really kind of harmonizing, integrative energy that is kind of bringing things together as we're moving through the cycle, that 1 through 9 cycle. So the 1 through 5, we're really kind of having these sparks of ideas, creativity. We're bringing to fruition that seed that we planted in the beginning of the day one energy. And the 6 is that harmonizing or the alchemy process of bringing it into integrity or bringing it in line. Sometimes it can be speaking to the both masculine and feminine energies. How can we bring those together? I also see it as one of those where it's bringing the puzzle pieces together. So a lot of times there's a lot of creative energy happening, but now, we've had the 4 where we're like, okay, we need to bring in a little bit of structure, and the 5 is we're kind of going back out again and trying not to get too boxed in with things. But now the 6 is like, okay, how do we integrate this into our life, into our being, all of those things, so that way we can actually bring it to fruition. Because the later stages are like, how do we actually bring this out into the world, either in our actions, our relationships, or maybe even something physical that we manifest within the world. So I will be honest that today I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I am feeling the shadow side of the 6. So the shadow side of the 6 can be that there's a little bit more anxiety, that there is a perfectionistic tendency. There can be the feeling of wanting to integrate, but feeling like you're not getting the right puzzle pieces together to make it fit and make it work, so we can get this bigger picture going. So often this is where you may find that whether it is the mind that is getting in the way, which is often the case with me, but it can also be that maybe there's some logistics that haven't been sorted or figured out yet of how to get all the pieces to kind of pull together. When there's this integration or this harmony, it can be that, is there a need to delegate? Is there a need to take certain things off the table because they just don't fit in the picture anymore? And sometimes that can be hard to admit, to prioritize sometimes when everything feels like a priority or everything feels important or valuable. So having to really critically look at these different things that we're going to take and pull away to make room for what really is important, but also really the steps that we need to take to let it show up fully in our lives. So like I said, whether it's support or getting more disciplined with your focus or verbalizing that to a partner, whatever that is for you in that, just looking at that. So it's really interesting. So I'm also a ruling number 6. So you might find, once you guys know your ruling numbers, your day energy, so today is the day of 6. It should be my day to shine, not necessarily today. So I'm working through this and going to be really working with the energy of today to put me in my highest state. I've got my crystals on. I've got my I forget what that is called, where it draws any of the negative energy out. So we're working on that. And so that way I cannot get kind of stuck in those ruts of why something can't happen. It's like, okay, then let's figure out how can we integrate things? How can we find possibility here? The other energy that's coming in today is that of Jack of Diamonds. So Jack of Diamonds reminds me he's like, Jack of Diamonds is kind of like the ultimate salesman kind of energy. He also reminds me, when I was just, playing with all of this morning, is he reminds me of Loki, right? Like Loki will promise you all kinds of things and will kind of try to sell you on those quick fixes of like, okay, you need to get here, here, this is where you are, this is where you need to be, and like, let's get you there as fast as possible. You don't actually have to do all the work that everybody else does, right? We just want to get from point A to point B, and it's making sure that you're slowing down and not being sold like the shiny bullet kind of thing, the being caught up that you can skip steps and recognizing that if it truly is of value, you'll put in the work to make it happen. So the Jack of Diamonds is also, intuition is the greatest gift, but sometimes when it comes to discipline as well, of staying focused. So the Jack is also kind of a little bit of a rebellious energy as well. And so it's just really asking you to really kind of hone in a little bit and allow that immaturity. It can allow for a sense of playfulness, but then don't let it get too out of hand that it kind of pulls you astray. Bring that energy back in towards center, with that 6 energy, and to kind of keep you in alignment and to keep you moving forward. So that way you are truly moving forward with integrity versus just trying to find shortcuts or ways around actually doing the work. So I'm shuffling 2 different cards today because I feel like I can use all the clarity I can get today. So I'm going to take you guys along the ride with me. So what we'll do is we'll pull a tarot card, but then we'll also pull, I find that the deck card, that's where I get like the Jack of Diamonds and stuff from, is sometimes I use those as like an action card of something I can actually do in my day to help me move into the best state of energy. So let's just play with this. Let's see what tarot comes up. I feel like these are our storyteller guide, our little characters that come in. All right. Who do we have today? Oh my goodness, you guys. Ace of Pentacles. I think I told you before, I went through a phase where I pulled the same card over and over and over again, and it was so frustrating. This one keeps coming up. I think this is 5th or 6th time. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this is telling me it's like trust that the roots are growing. We might not see the fruits of our labor at this point. I know for personally, this resonates for me, where it's like I'm still in that building phase of certain things that I want to come to fruition, but I'm still in that building phase, and so it's not quite out there yet to be seen or to be harvested, and it's just really trusting that the roots are growing, and that there is value in what you're doing. So see if you can slow down, right? This is a slow kind of tender process, and this actually reminds me with the 6, because the 6, when it's not in its shadow side, is this very nurturing energy. It's very much the warm blanket, the hot cocoa, the come sit on the couch and let's connect and have a conversation. That's that kind of nurturing energy. So really, how can we nurture with that seed that we planted? I think we got this in the beginning of the cycle. So just bringing that kind of attitude towards it, and that's a good reminder for me as well. And again, it reminds me of that 6 energy. Okay, how can we try to shift ourselves into that more positive aspect, get out of that critical mindset, that perfectionism, needing things to happen right away. So let's see, what is some action that we can take today to really help to move us into that direction. All right, let's see what we got. All right, King of Hearts, lead with love. All right, and really just it's like leading with love, having a compassionate stance. And when we're leading with love, that I feel like so often it's an outward. This is, red is usually represents like an outward energy. I know particularly for me, the message I'm going to take from this is that allow myself to lead with love when it comes to myself, instead of that critical nature. Like how can I nurture myself and have kind words, lead with love in that place. It's interesting. It's kind of got this where he's got the sword going in the back there. And I think that's just the reminder too, is like, there's not this stabbing of yourself in the back or others, right? So whether this is truly an outward energy for you, but looking at how you engage today, really allow it to be from the heart versus the mind. that's usually where we get caught up, right? We often get caught up in the mind with the criticism, the belief, the trust, and that's when things start to kind of crumble, is because there's all this self-doubt and everything else that moves in. So when we lead from this heart space, it's not a knowledge of the brain, right? It's a wisdom of the heart. It's a knowing and not having it. There isn't a questioning, that happens when there's a knowing, when you feel that it's resonating with what feels right for you. So I'm going to do some contemplative, kind of like more embodied practices today to kind of get back to my heart, get out of my mind. So I just suggest that for you guys too. If you find that you're struggling with the sixth energy, if you find that you're in it and you're already feeling the love and feeling connected, get out there and share it with others, because there might be others that are stuck in the other side of the in that shadow side of the energy. So I wish you guys a wonderful day. I'll let you know tomorrow how I move through it, and take care for now. Bye.